Research has shown that if you're not doing this, you are literally killing your relationship. If you're not doing this really super simple thing, then I can almost guarantee you that your relationship is going to end in divorce because it is the backbone. It is the thing that is missing from so many relationships. And now, if you're a single guy and you're watching this for the first time, don't tune out because this has something to do with you as well. And I'll share that at the end. And it's not just about if you're in a relationship one day, but it's something super important. I will share that with you. Hi, I'm Chuck Chapman. I am the host of Life 2.0. I'm a certified men's coach and a licensed professional counselor. However, this is not counseling or should substitute for any form of psychotherapy. Read the disclaimer. But I want to talk to you today about something that you're doing to your relationship and 4 things, super easy things that you can do to make your relationship thrive. Several years ago, I was working with a couple and they were talking about, they just weren't getting along at all. And I asked them a couple of simple questions. And I said, how much time do you guys spend together? And they looked at each other and they're like, I don't know. And they had small kids and family. And I don't mean like the 2 of you alone. What do you do? How much time do you guys spend together on a regular basis? And they honestly couldn't think of a time where it was just the 2 of them in the last several months where they had just done something with the 2 of them. And that's the secret, is connection. If you're not connecting with your partner, then the relationship's going to die. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a prescription today, because oftentimes I'll work with guys and they're like, and I'll point this out to them. I'll say, hey, you're not connecting with your partner. And they will look at me like deer in the headlights and go, I don't know what to do. I'm going to give you a simple 4-step prescription that you can use to create connection in your relationship. And I guarantee if you do this, if you apply these things, you will, your marriage, your relationship will absolutely be better for it. So what are these 4 things? Number 1 is the way you create connection is you have to connect daily. So every day my wife comes home from work and we sit down and we sit on the couch, we put our phones down. We'll just talk about our day. What went well, what didn't go. Maybe she's having issues with at work, or maybe something that happened to her that was, wonderful and great. I tell her about what's going on in my world and things that are working, things that aren't working. And we just have a discussion, and we do this every day for 15 to 20 minutes. It's a really super easy thing, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't actually make it a priority to sit down and talk. And it's because we're so stinking busy and we got kids and careers and we're trying to have fun in our lives and hang out with friends and all of these different things. And yet the number one relationship, the relationship that matters the most, the relationship actually that's going to make you both better parents and individuals, you're killing it by not spending quality time together. And it's a really simple thing. Prescription number 1 is every day, sit down, put your phones down, sit on the couch, sit at a table, look across from each other, and just talk about your day. Now, a really easy thing to do is what I call the rose and the thorn. If you're stuck with wondering what you should talk about, the rose and the thorn is really easy. It's basically what's one great thing that happened today and what's one thing that happened today, the thorn, that didn't go so well. And if you just spend time talking about that and listening to your partner and connecting with your partner, one thing that's going to happen is you're going to start creating more and more connection. Now, the research that was done at the Gottman Institute, John Gottman has studied relationships for the last 30 years. He's probably known as the expert in relationships and marriage. And he's studied multiple hundreds and hundreds of marriages over the course of the marriage's lifetime. And he can predict with, I think you say 95% accuracy after meeting a couple for 15 minutes, whether or not they're going to stay together. And the major predictor of whether or not a couple is going to stay together is if they know each other's world. If your if your spouse or your partner doesn't know about your world, like who are your friends, what do you like, what don't you like, and it seems obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many couples don't actually know what's going on in each other's worlds. We go away typically for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and then we come back home. And during that time and space, we're not connected. Well, spend some time talking about that. It's as simple as asking a question, how was your day? And that's prescription number one. 15 minutes, non-interrupted connection. Number two, weekly date night. My wife and I, Thursday nights, we go out on a date. We go out to dinner and we just connect. Sometimes we have lots to talk about, and sometimes we don't have a whole lot to talk about, but we still do it. We still go out. And most of the days, at the end of the day, when she comes home and I'm here and we look at each other and we know it's date night and we'll say, we really want to go out, but we both know it's an investment in our relationship. Even though we're tired, we always do it. And whenever we do, we're always grateful that we did it. The way we do it is 1 week I pick a restaurant, the next week she picks a restaurant. 1 week I pay, the next week she pays. And this is just a little way to show each other that we're thinking of them and we're being thoughtful, and just a way to show some gratitude and appreciation for our relationship with each other. Number two, date night. It's super important. I know it's one of those things it's really easy to say, okay, this week we'll put it off. But the problem is once you put it off once, it's just easier to put it off and then off again. And pretty soon you get into the pattern where you're not going out. And I get it if you have kids, finding a babysitter, all those kind of things. But I'm telling you, this investment will pay dividends because listen, if you guys don't stay together, like how's that going to affect your kids? So maybe it's better for you to spend an hour a week away from your kids and invest in that than it is to go through the entire thing of a divorce and separating your assets and losing all of your savings and all that to that, and then having your kids having to live in two different places. I think an hour a week is a pretty good investment. 3, quarterly, go away for the weekend. Go away and spend some time, just the two of you. Go to the beach, go to the mountains, rent a hotel, rent an Airbnb, but put it on the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, you won't do it. I know. So look at the calendar. You and your partner sit down and say, okay, this is the weekend. Each of you just go through the calendar for the whole year and pick out 4 weekends, one in each quarter, that you're going to go away and you're going to do something. And it is an investment in your relationship. Again, I get expenses, but it's also an investment. If you literally can't get away because you've got kids and nobody to watch them and all that, I understand that. But at least hire a babysitter for 8 hours or something like that and just make it about the two of you. When you go out, don't talk about the kids. You have plenty of time to talk about your dreams and your hopes and your desires, the vision that you have for each other in this relationship. Talk about the things that light you up, the things that you want to achieve, the direction you want your family to go. If you do that quarterly, I will tell you right now, it will pay off in huge dividends because you're going to feel even more connected. Number 4, take a week each year and go on vacation. Just the two of you, not the kids, no friends, just the two of you. My wife and I have been doing this since we were first married. We've been married 10 years. We've done this every year. We go away for a week, at least a week. Sometimes it's 2. This year it was 3, but we go away, just the two of us. It's an investment in our relationship. And you might be thinking, yeah, that's nice, Chuck, but that's also really expensive. Let me tell you an easy way to take care of that. My wife and I, each week, we put $50 a week into a savings account that is for our vacation, and it's sacred. If something breaks down, if car needs repair, whatever, we don't touch it, right? That money is sacred. Now, I can spend $50 a week on coffee. I can spend $50 a week on stuff on Amazon that I don't actually need. There's lots of things that I spend money on. That $50 could easily be taken and put into that account. $50 a week, both of us doing that, that's $5,200 a year. We can go on pretty nice vacations for $5,200. We've been on cruises. We've been to Australia. This last year, we spent 3 weeks in the UK, 2 weeks in the UK and 1 week in Paris. And we did this great road trip. And it was just an amazing time to just be bonded, just to spend 24/7 with each other for 3 weeks was amazing. And if you do have kids, there's probably going to be that poll. It's like, I want the kids to go do. Well, have another vacation for your kids. Do a long weekend. Take them camping. Do something like that. But invest in your relationship, because the more you invest in your relationship, the more time you connect, the better off you're going to have. You're going to be able to get along. You're going to enjoy each other. And it gives you something to look forward to. Gives you every week you get to look forward to going on a date. Every quarter you get to look forward to going out of town for the weekend. Once a year you get to look forward to going someplace. That's something my wife and I, we oftentimes talk on our date night. It's like, where do we want to go this year? What are we going to do? Where do we want to go? What are our plans? What are some of the things on our bucket list? And as we talk like that, then we get to know each other's worlds and our desires, and it creates connection. Because biologically, the way that we create connection is a chemical called oxytocin. And oxytocin is the chemical that's released. And when it's released, we have a sense of connection with another person. And when we experience new things with somebody, then we create connection. When you go to summer camp or a weekend away with friends or something like that, you're doing something different and you come back and you feel really connected with everybody. That's because everybody's had lots of oxytocin. So the way to create connection is time and doing different things. For example, if you're going out to dinner every week, don't go to the same place. Find new things. Even if where you go isn't as good as the places that you've gone before, that's okay. It happens to me all the time. But doing something different creates a different experience and it creates a memory. I'm just thinking about a few weeks ago, we went to this place and it was a disaster. The food was terrible. It was my idea. This is a place I always wanted to try. But you know what? It created an experience that we look at and laugh at. It created a memory. Like that wouldn't have happened if we had just gone to the same old. My encouragement for you today is practice these 4 things. Okay, if you're single, you're probably watching through the whole thing. And if you did, congratulations. I'm wondering what the heck this has to do with me. The very same thing for yourself. And even if you're not single, you want to do this. Dedicated time, 15, 20 minutes a day for you. Meditation, workout, read a book, journal. These are all things that you can do for yourself. Number 2, once a week for at least 2 hours, something that you enjoy. Maybe it's working on a hobby. Maybe it's hanging out with friends. Maybe it's dedicated time to you, something you enjoy. Quarterly, get away, go out and journal, get away, unplug from technology. I try to do this quarterly. When COVID happened, I stopped doing it and got interrupted by doing that. And 3 years later, I didn't realize how empty I was until I had gone away by myself. And a lot of times to do is I'll find a little Airbnb, small place, take my dog, and I'll bring a pad of paper, maybe my laptop, try to unplug as much as possible, but do some writing, do some reflection, do some planning for the next quarter. And then once a year, do something for a week for yourself. This might be a retreat. This might be a vacation by yourself. Every year I go on a couple of different men's retreats and they're typically about a week long. It's an investment in myself. It's an investment in myself so that I can be a better man. I can be a better husband. I can be a better father. You can put money into your retirement. You could put money into your investments, but your relationships, especially your significant relationship, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your friends, those are so much more important than the amount of money you have in the bank. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, comment below, send the video to somebody that maybe you think might be able to use it. But stay connected and love each other.